Hi! It's TRON Lord. I'm here to take you on a tour of Vault 88 that I built. Up front's a little information kiosk with first aid, a little gift shop to the side, various items from the vault to purchase. Kind of boxed in the little screening area, but otherwise there's a reactor over there, workshop. And the security area didn't really change much there, but same with the screening area. The main action's in the vault. I've got this made into about 4 different sections. Oh, man. Frame rate's a little low, but here's the atrium. We'll get to that in a little bit. First, the cafeteria, which lots of room to sit and eat. Different things you can make for drinks, kind of self-serve. It's a place where you can buy stuff, including meat sitting on a shelf, some Nuka-Colas. There's also some things you can buy for home, cram your face full. The other side of the counter here, there's a little heated pass-through there. Little kitchen prep area where you can make the food, wash your hands, do the things. And here's a little cold storage. You can see some fish. Anyways, as we get out of the kitchen, see the rest of the cafeteria. Some folks drinking pop, sody pop. There's a little pass through here that you can actually just cut through and get to the clinic. Or there's a little elevator there that goes to the basement or the second or third floor. We'll get to those later. In the clinic here, you'll see some lady rustling about, newspaper on the ground. Little reception. You could buy some drugs here. Get high on jet. Go psycho. In here, you'll see a lady that's in the ground. I think she's working the Phoropter or whatever. And there's a surgeon. Some tools on the ground. Over here, you can heal up after surgery. There's all sorts of drugs to aid the healing. Get high and buff out. I love how the pillow is halfway off the bed. So that's the clinic. It's the first half of the atrium where most of the shops are. So we'll go across to the other side. That leads to the overseer. We'll get to that. But here's the Geim. It's Jim? I don't think that's how you spell Jim. Anyways, there's some people pedaling on the bikes. There's some bench press, free weights. Everything you'd expect in a gym that you can make in Fallout 4. And then over there's residential. Get to that later. This is the barbershop. It's kind of a salon. They're waiting to cut your hair. You'll see there's some magazines to read while you chill. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for the first floor of the atrium, which is the first of 4 parts. There's the second floor of the atrium. There's a little place to eat, listen to music. Over here there's a gun shop. In here you guessed it, buy guns. There's all sorts of weapons on the wall. Put a lot of trust in our vault dwellers that they don't take ammo and just go frickin' postal, but whatever. Various guns to buy. Says what you can buy there. There's Heroes Hall. I guess we can save that. Nah, we'll just go in. It's basically where all the unique stuff is. It's like Oswald's suit. There's a Mechanist suit, Grognak, some Nuka Girl, Quantum X01. In case you want to go postal, there's a postman uniform. There's also, well, we'll get to that. It's kind of a corridor, back rooms. There's Minuteman, Kellogg's stuff, I think. Here's a view of the atrium. And it's a chair made with a gorilla, but I've put Harambe up. You'll see him on the right. Anyways, so that's Heroes Hall. Kind of stole that name, but it was a cool name. It's a commissary. In other words, general store. Buy cigarettes, watches, all sorts of kitchen appliances and stuff. Over here's more kind of tech things, tools. shelf full of like antiseptics and appliances, sports. Then we got a little bit of kid stuff and games. That leads to the residential, but we'll get to that. Finish off the atrium first. Another pathway to the residential. Here's a clothing shop. Buy cloths of all sorts of types. Mannequins, woo mannequin. All sorts of suits for men, themed shirts for other people, towels on the wall. Another man and woo mannequin. Some things for women. And actually, this is the last store on the atrium. It's the armor shop. Again, mannequins displaying unique pieces of armor. I don't think no two things are the same. There's all sorts of hats and stuff. There's even armor for your dog. All sorts of outfits in case you want to go postal and not get killed right away. Oh yeah, and the overseer. I deliberately made it say you have to call the elevator to get across. It's not really a security feature, but once you get across, see there's a little reception. So this is where you would wait, speak with the overseer, make sure if you're cool. Up the stairs, the overseer has it pretty good. Obviously, he's going to have the biggest room and such, so he's got his own personal bathroom, toothbrush and toothpaste and everything. And quarters, which I think is pretty ballin'. No bobbleheads, of course, but a little computer station to work at. There's a locker with a bunch of stuff, bed, cigarettes, and liquor. Yeah, that's the residential. We're going to get to that next. It's kind of an overview of it so you can keep an eye on his plebes. But he's got an office too. This is where he gets all of his work done. He being me, the TRON Lord. This is a computer that does more than the overseer's computer does, but whatever. All the Nuka-Colas. You get to see the atrium. And a little bar, jukebox. Place to have a good time. This leads to the back doors. It's just, I didn't want everybody to be able to have access to it, so you can see kind of outside the vault. There's a Yao Guai statue. This leads back to Heroes Hall, Harambe. Rip Harambe. And I kind of overpassed some of the kind of back doors areas, but outside the vault I've designed it, but I just didn't want to make the video too long, so we'll head back down. Make our way to the residential part, which is the second area of the vault. Kind of split into 4 quarters, or 4 different areas. Third will be the basement. Fourth will be the loop. We'll get to that. Right now it's the residential. It's kind of a lobby. See, there's not much privacy having a window into your place. This is one of the suites. Tried to make it look like home. It's pretty cool. Getting fuzzy there. My apologies for fuzzy video. This is for rent. So it's vacant. Nothing in there. Find this also has a window, not very private, but more of a family dwelling. It's a little bigger than the others, so people need to see what you're doing. This is a little more kid-oriented, but happens to also be a room. My apologies for the blurry video. It gets the point across, so. Here's a lavatory. So that brings Hall to the washrooms. That we'll get to later. So we'll pass through and you can see the arcade. In here, it's your typical lavatory. There's stalls. The middle one has bathtub. Not sure what that super sledge is doing here, but plunger, sinks. Sink of soap on the sink. All you'd expect from a lavatory. So, second floor of the residential. One of the suites here. It's all decorated and such. A little place to play board games if you want. This one here looks a little more tech savvy. Another suite over here. This one looks a little more culinary focused. Or the large espresso machine anyways, but there's room for a kid. Not sure why I whipped out the gun to a kid's place, but goodness. Graphics aren't very good. And this one's probably my favorite for the residential, probably because it looks most like the overseer's office, but there you have it. Little ice machine, little area to chill, and another lavatory, which is basically a copy of the one below. So you'll see there's a bathtub in the middle, 2 stalls beside it. Nothing's fancy. Access to the atrium shops. And that pretty much concludes the residential area. Head back to the atrium here. And you'll see this is where we started, the entrance. You can go down into the basement. This is more where we have the utilitarian things. This is kind of third part of the vault. Here's the arcade. Arcades. This happens to be the bar. You can buy Nuka-Cola if you want. Happens to be some games here, like, I don't know, not really bumper cars, more like those cards that you ride when you're a kid. Atomic rollers. This happens to be the pass-through because you get to see Nuka Zapper race. It's my favorite of the arcade games. This little park map there, which obviously this isn't really a park, but it looks cool. And the last room with little bit of mini games and a little photo op so you can look like the king. And hot dog cart where nobody's ever gets self-serve. And into the lounge. Oh, I guess he's not going. So you'll see a bar full of liquors. Some of them are toppled over, but whatever. It's not much you can do. It's going to happen. This happens to be kind of a drinking area, little lounge. Just close this door. That leads to the rest of the basement and the loop. You can chill. Tiki bar. There's also a little dance floor there, but place to play pool. Queue up. Drink to what looks like Samuel Adams. It's a place to gamble. Place to play music. All you need to have a good time to lounge. Another room here. It's a lavatory. This one only has stalls. I just don't want to bathe in a club. A lot of people having schmacks. That's pretty much it for the lounge. Other half of the basement is classroom. I don't get it. Everybody's an adult. They've already learned everything, but I guess there is room for a baby because there's a baby bed. So you'll see there's a bunch of different, I don't know, places to sit. Obviously, people were angry, throwing shit around. Didn't mean to swear there. My apologies, but armory. Clearly, I'm Canadian or British, but you can tell by the accent I'm not British. So there's a little resting area. This is where the armor is. The actual power armor kind of workshop. Various power armors on display. I don't know if it's biohazard or nuclear, but anyways, here's reception. Here's maintenance. Didn't really know where else to put this, but wanted to attach the prefab little janitor's hut. Didn't really touch this because I thought it looked cool. And then here's kind of the overseer's area with the blueprints. Kind of a little office to get away from and chill. So it's kind of outside the vault, but over here's armor setup. It's an armor workstation, so various things out to help you. There's a vault that has all the kind of heavy weapons. Not that the gun shop didn't have heavy weapons. It was looking pretty brutal. But guns. Lots of guns. Probably could have stacked more in there, but still, cornucopia of cool weapons and unique weapons. Over here is the workshop and range. So here's a gun workshop. You can make guns. It's tools to help craft some things, mod your weapons. Over here there's some ammo and various things on the side for when you go to the range, which has a little, I don't know what you would call that, blast doors, blast secured area. Anyways, and then you fire down range, pop a couple shots into the goal. And yeah, guns kind of scattered around. It's probably best I close that before I actually fire, but whatever. Is what it is. Of course it gets stuck. And that's pretty much the range. Armory kind of area. That pretty much concludes the basement. Well, there's an elevator we just passed that goes... Oh yeah, and here's the beginning of the loop. Going to quickly go through here. It's just kind of storage and access to the outside of the vault in case you need to work on the vault. But oh yeah, and garbage. This elevator, unfortunately, the glitch happened where the numbers kind of disappeared. So rather than fix that, I'm just going to show you around the other part of the loop, which is the fourth part of the vault. We're in the home stretch now. Back to the basement, which this is kind of the back side of the classroom. Access to the overseer's office and the atrium through the elevator. And over here is kind of the exit zone, which brings you to the loop. But over here is the lounge. Across the way is the exit zone. So this kind of leads you through the tunnel. I've made like 3 vaults before, and one of them was really intricate that actually was built in a tunnel, but no, instead didn't bother doing that this time. This is kind of the nuclear waste disposal. So there's a place to fix the robots, which will work on putting the waste in here. Probably shouldn't be in here without a hazmat suit. Geiger's counter's going off, but I deliberately kept this intact to make it look like nuclear waste disposal. So a little security desk to tell you, hey, don't go. And this should probably have been closed all along, so we'll close that. We'll head down to hydroponics. These long corridors are what I consist of the loop, because they kind of section off the vault and make different parts. But anyways, this part's a little bit sealed, and it leads to hydroponics. So you'll find there's a bunch of tools and different baskets and stuff to help you grow stuff. And we're growing crops. I don't know if it's enough for everybody, but it's a little maintenance hatch to get to the pond in case you need water. Water pump. Here's a better view, but you can just chill and have a smoke out on this little deck. Enjoy the scenery. But yeah, otherwise, close these doors and seal them up. This is the hydroponics area. There's also a little desk here to keep files and different fertilizers and stuff, but crops when you're done. There's the water pump. A little water tower for fresh water. And this is the way to the research. Kind of go back into the vault. Research is to the right. So I don't know if it's really research, but it's kind of that tech area. You find there's the egg. Simulator egg. There's different computers to work on, microscopes, and access to the water pump, the plumbing area, in case there's any issues. So I don't know if it's really research, but that's what I decided to call it because you're limited on your signs. The last section over here on the loop. Well, I guess there's 2 sections. There's a security section first, just right here, where the police are. So this is kind of the processing area, but if we want to kill you, we harvest your blood for the blood god, and we toss you in the pit. But in the meantime, in case you didn't do something so harsh, you pass through the metal detector, and there's 4 different holding cells. Don't know why the doors are open, but close those. So in case you've been a bad boy or girl, places to quarantine you. So that's pretty much it. Getting to the end, the last little bit is the reactor, which is just through these doors. See, this is the supplemental reactor. There's a little maintenance hatch. Chick on a smoke break, I guess, but she's supposed to be watching from this desk, making sure everything's A-okay. Do better. So you'll find there's a little area for tools to work on the computers, but a little bit of equipment underneath here. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for the reactor, and that's pretty much it for the vault tour. This is the maintenance hatch, just leads to the bottom, and this is the elevator that didn't work, that it would have taken you down. So thank you for watching my video. Feel free to like, dislike, subscribe, do what you got to do, but hope you have yourself a good day and or night.